Why you have to watch the Drifters anime. Let's go! In today's world of anime, the most successful are shonen anime, isekai, action-oriented anime where someone kills demons of some sort, immediately followed by slice of life, romantic dramas, and anime in general that cover horny teenagers doing horny things, with emphasis on comedy. Sometimes we get a good detective or horror story with psychological and horror elements. There is also the mecha genre, which has been dead and buried for almost 20 years, which is a shame. And that's about it. Anime and manga are drawn mediums. They are not constricted by the budget in the same way live-action movies and shows are. You can imagine and draw anything in this world and depict any kind of narrative you can imagine. And the Drifters anime definitely does this well. When you watch trailers for the Drifters anime, you get the idea that this anime is about samurais, fighting, honor, and stuff like that. And the trailers are completely misleading. If they really wanted to sell this anime properly, they didn't even need to bother with making the trailer. All they needed to do was to make a slide that says, "Do you want to see Hannibal, Butch Cassidy, Sundance Kid, samurais, and elves as they battle Joan of Arc, Rasputin, Anastasia Romanova as they ride dragons, which are united by Hitler and what it seems Jesus himself." It sounds completely insane, doesn't it? That's how you sell this type of anime, and not with a trailer of generic samurai fighting. In general, the story is framed so that historical figures are, based on their psychological profiles and their destinies, pitted against each other in a fantasy war. In this fantastical world where the war is taking place, a state called Orta, or we should call it the Third Reich, fights against rebels across its empire, which we should call resistant movements, that were plentiful in the Second World War. We follow famous samurais from Japanese history, as well as other famous historical figures, as they wage war to overthrow the Third Reich. I mean to overthrow Orta. Even though there's a lot of emphasis on action, this anime also focuses a lot on the strategic element of battles, emphasizing just how much technology has changed the way the wars are being fought. It is evident that Dr. Stone took great inspiration from this anime. Gunpowder, explosives, formations, communication, all those elements changed the world and the way the wars have been waged. And this anime showcases in a very detailed and brutal way just how much science has changed the world. What separates this anime even more from the others is the second way the rebels fight the empire, and that is through political intrigue, coup d'etat, negotiations with potential allies, betrayal, all of that because of money and power. Producers somehow managed to fit all of this into 12 plus 3 OVA episodes, and they also managed to develop the characters so that they are interesting and likable. To be honest, characters don't follow historical facts to the letter. I am pretty sure that Joan of Arc wasn't able to spew fire, but they're close enough to be believable. Rasputin excels in political intrigue. Hitler founded an enormous empire. Hannibal was an ingenious strategist. And Butch Cassidy is an amazing marksman. As for the comedy, it is excellently well executed. It comes from the context of the show and the differences between the characters because of their various backgrounds. Comedy written like that is the most powerful and most funny, something Hollywood forgot how to produce about 30 years ago. Why do you need to watch this show? Not just because of all the praises we mentioned about the show, but also for the fact that this show does exactly what the medium of anime and manga was intended to do. It puts us in original and completely insane scenarios, and it lets the plot to develop organically and naturally. The only place where you can get this kind of content are anime shows, because Western productions are poisoned by political and ethical censorship, which makes it impossible to ever see content like this outside from anime. This anime is true fantasy, actual imagination come to life, unlike generic action fantasy movies and shows, Harry Potter's, Game of Thrones, and similar. Imagination and fantasy are not salami to be bought and sold by the ounce, something I'm sure that J.K. Rowling and G.R.R. Martin think. No, fantasy is something much more powerful, with a much bigger potential, something authors like that could never possibly understand. Anime, like Drifters, are at least a little taste of what can be done with fantasy genre when you use your imagination in the right way. And that is why you must watch The Drifters, an amazing anime. That would be it about this show. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Follow us on social networks. Check out other videos on Mr&Mrs. Anime channel. That's it for this video. See you next time. Bye bye.